LTV viewers and friends, and welcome to the May 15th, 2025 edition of East End News on LTV. This is your community and your news. I'm Christine Sampson. Our top story this week takes a look at a new traffic management and safety project in the heart of the Northwest Woods, not far from East Hampton High School. Let's take a look.
Getting across this intersection hasn't been easy for drivers to navigate, so the town of East Hampton is giving it a makeover by putting in a roundabout at Long Lane and Stephen Hand's Path.
And it's long overdue. We've had, multiple backups, multiple near misses with staff and students going across Long Lane and Stephen Hand's Path. So I think it's something needed to be done, and now something's being done. So I'm ecstatic about it.
Most of our roads out here are old horse and buggy roads. -45 intersections, not lining up. They weren't engineered correctly. This is an opportunity for the first time since 1648 that we've been able to engineer this very dangerous intersection.
Fine says the issue has been students having to navigate such a complicated intersection even for any adult, and it's also been causing a backup at busy times like in the morning, making both teachers and students late for school.
This is just a very dangerous intersection. And as the town looks to modernize our roads, this is one of the locations that we heard a lot of residents looking for change there because they had a lot of concerns and they wanted to see change.
Councilman Lee says they will keep the same rural feel by using grass and cobblestone like other roundabouts in the area. And they're also putting in extra space next to the white fog line to make sure bicyclists and pedestrians can get across safely as well.
And looking forward to the outcomes. Hopefully we make a safer commute for everybody involved.
But I've gotten mostly all positive feedback so far. Now granted, there is construction happening in there right now then too. So there is detours, some delays on there though too. So again, patience on that. I think the end result everyone will be happy with.
Dara Berger reporting in East Hampton for LTV East End News.
Now, utility relocation issues caused initial delays, but Councilman Lease expects the roundabout will be complete by the end of June. Driving to, through, and from Shelter Island just got more expensive. On May 6th, the Suffolk County Legislature approved a series of ferry fare hikes impacting both the North Ferry and South Ferry operations. These two separate companies run boats to and from the Rock 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, operating at the longitudinal ends of Shelter Island. New fares went into effect earlier this week, with increases of between 3% and 66% on various ticket options. For the South Ferry, this includes a jump from $27 to $45 on the 5-trip ticket. A round trip will now cost you $25 instead of $20. The North Ferry eliminated its 5-day commuter pass altogether, a particularly controversial move, and increased the cash round trip from $24 to $26. South Ferry Operations Manager Britton Clark told East End News that we would have gone into the red if we didn't get our rate increase. He said that over the winter, the South Ferry Company invested significantly in capital improvements and maintenance. It has added a boat to its fleet, built a new barn, and hired additional workers. The last rate increase for the South Ferry was back in 2019. Mr. Clark said, "We don't like to do it, but we have a tremendous amount of overhead." The North Ferry was in a similar situation according to its petition to the Suffolk Legislature for a fare hike. Suffolk County's Budget Review Office wrote in its official North Ferry recommendation that it, quote, believes the requested fare increases have merit and that the new rates should provide sufficient revenue for maintaining current levels of service for the public. This coming Tuesday is a critical day for public school districts across New York State. It's budget vote day. Across our region, school officials proposed spending plans that adhere to the state-imposed cap on tax levy increases while dealing with uncertainties stemming from the federal and state governments. The final state budget actually added $270 million in aid to Long Island schools, but the state's delay in approving this money created timing challenges for schools. When you're making your yes or no decision, it's important to understand what's called the 3-part budget. These 3 parts are capital, administrative, and program spending. Across the districts, the program budget includes classroom supplies, teacher salaries, after-school activities and sports, counseling, and much, much more. Program budgets can seem very high, which may lead to false conclusions about overspending, but in reality, these numbers are what translate to robust offerings for students. Tuesday is also school board election day, but only Springs, Amagansett, and Quogue have contested races. Also on the ballot in Montauk, Springs, and Amagansett is a new tuition contract for these smaller districts that send high school students to East Hampton. Voting hours vary by school district. People who have cast ballots recently in local, state, or national elections are generally eligible to vote without re-registering, but if several years have passed, people may need to do so again. Look for our Instagram page at LTV East End News for additional information. In the coming days, we'll share a summary of each South Fork School District's budget plan. In a related story, big congratulations are due to Sam Schneider, the Assistant Superintendent for Business in the East Hampton District, who also runs the Springs School Business Office. He has been chosen as School Business Official of the Year by the industry's top professional organization in the state. The Association of School Business Officials described Mr. Schneider as having built a career defined by integrity, innovation, and collaboration with a measurable impact on students, staff, and school business operations, not just in East Hampton, but all across the East End. Mark your calendars for Memorial Day weekend when the traveling Vietnam War Memorial will be on display at the American Legion in Amagansett. This 5/8 replica of the Washington, D.C. Memorial measures 300 feet long and 60 feet wide. Across the country, this traveling memorial makes stops in communities steeped in military history and appreciation for the fallen. It's the first time this somber exhibition will be on display locally. The American Legion said in a statement, "We invite all community members to join us in honoring the sacrifices made by our veterans. Together, let us ensure their stories are remembered and cherished for years to come. Your presence matters." The opening ceremony takes place Friday, May 23rd at 10 a.m., and admission is free. The memorial wall will be here through Monday, May 26th. Foster Memorial Long Beach in Noyak is the site of a brand new community fitness station donated by the Dog Patch Bandits. The fitness station is open to anyone who wants to use it. It will be unveiled officially in a ribbon-cutting ceremony at 1 p.m. on Wednesday, May 28th. The Dog Patch Bandits are a group of athletes who promote physical fitness, healthy choices, and access to treatment for substance abuse and mental health issues. The group was formed in memory of their friend Michael Semkis, an elite athlete, coach, and teacher who died of an overdose in 2016. These fitness stations include pull-up bars, parallel bars, and a push-up and squat stone. At Long Beach, the Dog Patch Bandits are also helping with dune restoration and installing a new bench, bike rack, and bike path entrance. The Long Beach Fitness Station is the 12th such installation by the Dog Patch Bandits. They've already created similar stations at Pearson Middle High School in Sag Harbor, Phoenix House in Wainscott and Hauppauge, the Quanticut Recovery Facility in Greenport, and the Shelter Island School. They've also branched out to communities in New Mexico, California, and Washington State. You can visit dogpatchbandits.com to learn more. Summer is coming, and with it, more commuters to our area. The Long Island Railroad has announced new schedules that are going into effect on all branches starting on Monday, May 19th. The railroad said in its announcement that rush hour service is not impacted. The changes include new options for traveling between Montauk and Penn Station on the South Shore line through Labor Day. Notably, the Montauk-bound train that usually departs Penn Station at 5:13 p.m. on Fridays will now operate from Monday through Friday. Other adjustments have been made to the railroad's weekday, overnight, and weekend departure times so that it can facilitate, quote, key track and infrastructure improvement projects. Passengers should check the Long Island Railroad Train Times app or online schedules for the full details. And speaking of schedules, our community calendar is back this week to highlight fun, interesting, and educational activities around the South Fork. Let's take a look. Guildhall and Ola have teamed up for the venue's first ever Spanish language play. This weekend, a new take on the classic story of Fuente Ovejuna comes to the Hillary and Mitchell Morgan Theater at Guildhall. Performances are the evenings of Friday, May 16th and Saturday, May 17th, and tickets cost $15 each. Guildhall.org is the website for more information. On Sunday, May 18th, the first ever Hampton's Vinyl Record Fair takes place right here at LTV Studios in Wainscott. Guests can shop, eat, and drink while enjoying music sets from top East End DJs. Admission is $10 per person. The Universal Yums Taste Test returns to the East Hampton Library for high school students on Monday, May 19th. From 4 to 5 p.m., teens can have the chance to taste treats imported from the Netherlands. Sign up is on eventbrite.com. Tuesdays in May are devoted to organic lawn care at Bridge Gardens in Bridgehampton. Paul Wagner from Greener Pastures Organics will be on site from 3 to 4:30 p.m. to answer questions from homeowners about environmentally sound landscaping care. These 2 sessions are offered by the Peconic Land Trust in partnership with the Perfect Earth Project. And finally, at the church in Sag Harbor, the Gil Gutierrez Trio will bring its Latin-infused classical guitar and jazz sounds to the stage for one night on Friday, May 23rd. Tickets cost $25 and can be purchased at thechurchsagharbor.org. Thanks for watching this week's edition of East End News, delivering the news you need through the power of public access television. I'm Christine Sampson, and I'll see you next week.